Okay, well, here we are. This is our first Python lab, which accompanies the new edition of our book, Introduction to Statistical Learning with Applications in Python. And I'm sitting with Jonathan Taylor, who is a Python expert. And we got him to join us for this edition of the book. And so he's the fifth author, and he wrote all the labs. And Jonathan's going to take over the session and show us how to get Python going and take us through the first lab for chapter 2.
Thanks, Trevor. Very happy to be part of the team for this book. It's been a lot of fun trying to write these labs and add a few things to statistics in Python that will go along with this book. So I thought I'd start off by just showing you how to install what's needed for the course. There's a package, Python package that we'll have to install. And also, just so we start almost from scratch, I'll just point out that here I've downloaded the labs here from the book website, the Python one, and there's a zip file for the notebook files over here. I've unpacked it into this directory here, and this is these are the labs we're going to be running. It includes a few data files, and that's where we'll start. We're going to be using this version of Python shipped by Anaconda. I've assumed you've downloaded Anaconda and installed it. That's a standard, Mac install. If you're using Windows, it will be installed in a similar fashion. But this is how we're going to start the session, and I'll just show you how to get set up as a first task. Okay, so here I've got Anaconda open, and Anaconda has a way to manage sort of what code you're running by these environments. And I've made a special environment for us, and I recommend you do the same. So I've made an environment here called ISLP, and you can make a new environment by this create button, and I'll just do that relatively quickly, just to show you if you had to do this yourself. So I'll call it ISLP2. I'll create it. And these environments are sort of ways to isolate the code you're running, because in any modern, computing system, there's different versions of packages and you want to kind of control them. So these environments are a way to control them. Okay, so there's one more thing we have to do besides making this environment is we have to install the code needed for the class. So I'm just going to do that by opening this terminal, and I'm going to type one command. I'll just do it here. We're going to install the package with this line pip install ISLP. I've already done that on my session, but this will install what's needed for the course. With the exception of, we'll see a bit later, for the deep learning, we'll have a few more installs, but we'll get to that in a few labs. Okay, while that's running, I'll go back to my environment that I've already started, ISLP, and we'll see how to start a session. So in this home, there's this panel, and we're going to run our code in Jupyter Lab. So right now, the Jupyter Lab I can launch it with this button. I will just say one more quick thing. If you're making this environment yourself, note you'll want this tab up here to be the environment you're running. In the new environment here, if we look, we'll see one thing, that the Jupyter Lab has not been installed. We'd have to install it before launching it. So let's just click that one. And then you'll see later it will transition to be launchable.
Well, you make this look so easy, Jonathan.
Thanks.
It's really not hard. If I was able to do it, it couldn't be too hard.
Thanks. Yeah, so now it's launchable, and so this would launch a new session in this new environment. If you prefer using the terminal and you have some experience with Python, you can just run pip in the terminal yourself. But this way is a simple way to do it with a graphical interface. Okay, so that's how we get set up, and let's just go back to our environment. They're essentially identical environments, but I call this one ISLP, and we'll launch Jupyter Lab. And that should open something in your browser, something that looks something like this. And it's opened up here into the first lab that we'll look at, the Introduction to Python lab.